Man is an amazing creature who can adapt to almost any conditions. In the southern part of Thailand, there is a unique Ko Panyi village, almost entirely located on stilts. Tell why they built several soccer fields there. How in a country where almost all people practice Buddhism, formed a Muslim village, and why houses were built over water. Ko Panyi is located in the picturesque bay of Phang Nga between Phuket and Krabi Province. The village is located on the island of the same name, right at the foot of the limestone rock formation. Actually, the view from above and prompted me to make this video really looks very unusual. This village and its history was very interesting. It all started at the end of the 18th century when some Malay families, in search of a better life, their starting point differs in different sources. In one version, they sailed from the island of Java, in another, from the territory of the current Malaysian state of Kedah. The families agreed that the first one to find a place with a lot of fish should raise a flag for the others. The first one was that Babu, who is believed to be, and several other families are the ancestors of most of the villagers. In those days, the law allowed to own land only Thais, and enterprising fishermen have found a way. They began to build settlements directly over the water. The first sites on land appeared only at the end of the next century, after Thailand began to actively develop tourism. Houses are built of wood and bamboo and stand on stilts, reminiscent of flamingo. The field came into being in the second half of the 1980s. It was built by local boys, inspired by the 1986 World Cup. The determined kids weren't deterred by the obstacle of having their whole village standing on stilts. Village standing on stilts. They wanted to play by all means. Adults did not believe in the little enthusiasts' ideas, but the boys did not give up and built a floating field after school using what wood they could gather. For example, fishing rafts. Of course, the field they made did not, but the young soccer players did not give up. Anything that prevented them from playing, they saw as an opportunity to improve their control over the ball. One day a poster came to the village from the mainland about the Southern Thai High School Soccer Championship. The boys decided to participate, and the adults, who were by then convinced that they were serious, helped them buy uniforms. The footballers from Koh Panyee made it to the semifinals. It rained heavily during the match and they were losing 2-0 after the first half. In the second part of the game, the boys went barefoot, so that their wet shoes would not interfere. And they were more accustomed to running this way. They managed to even the score, but the opponent eventually won in the last minutes of the match. The boys from Koh Panyee then pulled themselves together and won the match for third place, but more importantly, they managed this story has inspired millions of people around the world. For a long time, the population of Koh Panyee lived mainly by fishing. At the end of the 20th century, this income was no longer enough and the local letter carrier suggested earning money through tourism as well. His advice was heeded and the village attracted visitors from all over the world. So in Koh Panyee appeared restaurants with Thai and Western cuisine and souvenir shops. You will not find a luxury hotel here, but you can stay in a specially built bungalow for tourists. In addition to the joy of visitors, and the village has everything you need for permanent residence. in particular, a school, medical center, a market with goods brought from the mainland. There is also electricity and internet, and a two-story mosque. The latter is clearly visible from the water, and in general it stands out strongly from the rest of the buildings. Inside it was decorated with marble, for which we should thank donations. By the way, the mosque is not standing on piles. It is one of the first structures that was allowed to build already on the island. Since Koh Panyee is a predominantly Muslim place, Muslims, it is strongly not recommended to bring to the island cigarettes, alcohol, and pork, and well dress more modestly. As you have probably already realized, the predominance of Muslims is due to the Malay origins of the first settlers. In general, in Thailand, 95% of the population are Buddhists. Both boys and girls go to a Muslim school in the village. Local education is informal, so some young men attend more serious education. Phuket, which is only 40 km to the south, village kids from childhood are taught respect for nature. Together with teachers, they collect cans and bottles, and then turn them in, with the proceeds going to the development of the school. Also, the boys and girls get useful theoretical and practical knowledge in the field of agronomy. Together with the teachers, they grow vegetables using hydroponics. This system in Koh Panyee is a real boon because it allows you to do income from guests from the locals do not work. With the settlement on stilts, only an intermediate point, often the main destination, the so-called James Bond Island. But on Koh Panyee, guests are greeted by local guides who are very proud of their village and are always happy to show its main attractions. Koh Panyee is not the only overweighter village in the world. In a previous video we told you about the Euro people who live on islands made of reeds. In general, there is an opinion that floating cities are a story not only about the past, but also about the future. Well, however, only time will be able to confirm or deny it. That's all, friends. Share the video if you liked the story of this unusual village. Until more videos. Bye. Please support my channel, subscribe, like and comment.